Satnam. Welcome to SoulFlow Yoga. My name is Amy, and this week the sun is transiting in gate 50, the gate of values. And this is what creates the cosmic weather in our collective. The gate of values is all about equilibrium within the community, within the collective. But it all starts with the individual. This is an awareness gate, and it is the fear, and it's in the spleen, so spleen holds the fear gates. It's the fear of responsibility, right? So we're either showing up and we're taking too much responsibility in a way that it becomes hierarchical, or we're backing away from responsibility and allowing somebody else to tell us how to do it, tell us how it's going to be, and once again, hierarchy. So Gate 50 is really here to teach us about creating communities that are equal, right? Where everyone is equal, everyone's needs are met, everyone's voice is heard, but it keeps us all safe, keeps us cared for. And it is a gate that teaches us to make sure that our needs are met as well, to make sure that we are getting what we need to survive. Right, so this is all about survival, and we're not going to, burn the candle at both ends so that we can't take care of our community. So when we take care of ourselves, we're able to take care of our community, and then we're also able to take care of the collective as a whole. And this ripple effect of equilibrium, it reaches to around the world, but it starts with the individual. All right, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Gate 50 is just one of those gates that's a little complex and at the same time yet so very simple. It's almost so simple that you're like, how can this just be it? But we're going to go ahead and move into some beautiful Kundalini yoga sets to support equilibrium within the body. And this set is all about the psyche of the self, the psyche of the tribe, and then the bigger psyche, which is what I call the collective. It is that thing that is bigger, wider, deeper than our own selves, but it all starts with us, right? The energy that radiates out from within is what we need to be loving on and supporting and just taking care of, so that it radiates out into the world. So we're going to tune in with the Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow down to that divine teacher from within. I bow down to the divine wisdom that I hold within me. And remember, so bring the hands together and begin to rub them vigorously. This mantra is really about saying and asking that egoic part of ourselves to step aside, maybe take a nap or something, and let the higher state of consciousness come online and to lead us and to guide us through this next little mini set that we'll do together. So bringing those hands together at the heart center, roll the shoulders up, back, and down, closing those eyes, and then rolling the eyes in towards the nose and then up towards the space between the eyebrows. This is what we call the third eye. And let's take a big, deep inhale through the nose, and so big that you draw that breath down into the belly. The belly puffs out. And then as you exhale, you bring that belly button back towards the spine. And just like that, one more time. And now we inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Take a big deep inhale through your nose, holding that breath in. And then engaging that root lock, that's the pelvic floor, sex organs, squeezing that there, and then imagining, visualizing the energy coming up from that root, swirling around the spine, climbing up all the way to the crown. And then exhale, let those hands come down, let them rest on top of the knees. Just keep the eyes closed here for a moment. Allowing yourself to go inward and just to notice how you feel in this moment after tuning in. And then let's take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale, and you can gently open those eyes. All right, we're just going to warm up for a moment, turning those palms face down onto the knees. I always start with Sufi circles. I love them. And I always love to warm up from the root or the lower triangle area of those chakras and work my way up. So we're going to start with Sufi circles. Inhale, circle forward in that pelvic bowl. Exhale, circle back. And we're inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We're closing those eyes. If you're a visual person, maybe you want to visualize yourself sitting inside a cylinder, a glass cylinder, and you have paint all over your body. Beautiful shade, you pick the shade, and you're painting the inner walls of this cylinder every time you circle around, painting those walls. Maybe you want to think of it as painting your aura. Pick a shade that makes you feel happy and alive. And then we're going to reverse the direction. If you want to mix colors, you can pick a new color. Or you can stay with that one singular color. Let's do one more here, and then with our next inhale, we're going to bring ourselves back up to that neutral spine, sitting up nice and tall. And then exhale. And we're going to bring our hands to our ankles, or the shin area just above the ankles. Sometimes I call that the shankle. All right, so sitting up nice and tall again, rolling those shoulders up, back, and down. Eyes are closed. We're going to inhale, rock forward in our pelvic bowl, and then exhale, rock back. Leaving the head and the neck in neutral. They don't bob around. Just isolating this movement in that pelvic bowl. On your next inhale, again, bring yourself back up to neutral. And exhale. Bring those hands on top of the knees, like we did with Sufi circles. This time we're going to keep our arms completely straight. No bend in those elbows. And we're going to bring that flex motion that we just did up to the heart center, or the pranic center. Prana is life force. It's the breath. Pranic center is in the front where our heart is, and in the back where our shoulder blades are. So as we inhale, heart center comes forward. As we exhale, heart center comes back. We're isolating this motion just within that rib cage. Making breath powerful and audible through the nose. Again, head and neck don't move. On your next inhale, again, bring yourself to neutral. And exhale, bend those elbows. Let the hands just relax on top of the thighs. Eyes stay closed. Let's begin with some gentle shoulder rolls. We're going to inhale those shoulders up towards the ears and then exhale back and down. Get your hands, forearms, do whatever they want, focusing on those shoulders. Now bring those forearms parallel to the floor, palms face up. Think about opening up the heart center with every inhale, squeezing shoulder blades together with every exhale. One more of these. Let the hands rest on top of the lap. You can gently open the eyes if you'd like. Last little warm-up we're going to do, and then we're going to move right into our kriyas. We're going to do a gentle neck roll. And with this neck roll, I want you to start small, and if you feel comfortable, you can go a little bit bigger, a little bigger. Always being super gentle of our neck. You don't want to start overdoing it. Our necks aren't necessarily meant to move in all these wild motions or directions. That's why we want to be very careful, because if you've ever had a neck injury, it's no fun. Everyone knows this, okay? So I like to keep my hands in Gyan Mudra while I do neck rolls, but you don't have to, all right? So Gyan Mudras, thumb tip and pointer finger touching, and this is the beautiful skin of our fingers. All right, sitting up nice and tall, closing the eyes, again, gazing at the third eye if that feels good, or you can just keep your gaze gentle in whatever feels supportive. And then we'll just inhale as we roll our neck in any direction, if you want to go forward or backwards starting. And then exhaling. So matching your breath with your movement here. Inhaling forward maybe, or exhaling. And then exhaling back or inhaling. I think you get this. And reversing the direction. Let's reverse that one more time. Sometimes I like to think of a spotlight beaming out the top of my head. Ever seen a spotlight at night, how it shines brightly up through into the sky, the night sky. And reverse it again. And with your next inhale, bring your head back up to neutral. And then exhale. All right, gently opening the eyes. All right, let's begin our kriya. We're going to begin in tabletop to start. So that's knees under the hips, palms on the floor underneath those shoulders, or if you have any kind of wrist injury and this is not comfortable, you can bring your hands into fists. If this isn't comfortable on your knees, I suggest folding up a towel or a blanket and putting that under the knees, just creating some more padding underneath the whatever's uncomfortable, even if that's your hands, that's totally fine. I will pause for 1 second. If anything is ever uncomfortable in this class or any yoga class that you go to, you bring that floor up to you in any way you can. Pillows, blankets, blocks, whatever you have, a chair even if that's what you've got, and shorten your range of motion if you have any sort of injury or discomfort. Okay? You don't have to do it exactly like the teacher. Remember, all of our bodies are different, and let's honor them. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is we're actually going to come into cow pose. So cow is when we're going to drop our bellies down. But I want you to still I still want you to engage a gentle root block here. All right, and then from here, we're going to lift our left leg behind us. Just start with it parallel to the floor. I'm going to scoot up here a little bit. All right, now the big idea here is to lift this leg as high as you can. All right, you're going to feel it in your glutes, boop, boop, and you're going to feel it in your low back. All right, once again, range of motion, like I said. If you lift it so high that you're creating some pinching in your back, I want you to lower it. We don't need to create pinching in our backs, okay? Now really push the floor away to lift so we're not dropping in our shoulders, we're pushing the floor away. This is active. and we're lifting our chin. And again, be mindful of your back, your neck. If it's too pinchy, just lower it a bit, okay? If you can just get some kind of stretch and lengthen through the neck, that's all you need. Now, from here, we're going to flex the feet and point the toes. Flex, point, flex, point. I hope you can see my feet. All right. Okay, and then we're also going to do breath of fire. Remember, breath of fire is inhaling and exhaling out of the nose, equal parts. All right, there is a pumping of the belly, but if we can't, like if we're not feeling that pumping of the belly in this position, I don't want you to worry about that. I want you to focus on the breath, matching the pointing and flexing of the toe, all right? And we'll start with our exhale with the flexed foot. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower that knee back down to the floor. Let's just shift our weight a bit from the hands and the knees. Take a moment. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, I was not able to pump my belly and hold that pose. So let's just focus on the breath and the foot. All right. Okay, here we go. Go ahead and drop the belly, gently engaging the root blocks. Push that floor away. Lift that right leg so it's parallel to the floor. Lift the chin to the comfortable position. All right. And then lift your leg as high as you can that feels comfortable. Let's begin with our flexed foot with the exhale. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower that foot down, or that leg down, the knee down to the ground. Come to sitting on your heels. Take a moment here. Let the hands rest on top of the lap. Eyes remain closed. Take a moment. Notice what you notice, any energy shifts within the body. Take a big inhale and exhale, and gently open the eyes. All right, we're going to come into now cat pose. So still with those knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders or fists. Remember, if your wrists are feeling a little bit tender or it's too much pressure on those wrists, you can move into fists. Okay, so with cat pose, we're going to scoop out our belly, rounding our back. Chin comes as close to the chest as possible. We're going to take our left hand to start. Bring the thumb just below the pinky, that mound right there, and then make a fist. All right, and then we're going to bring this fist next to or by the left shoulder. From here, we're going to inhale and punch out away from ourselves. And then, so it's inhale, exhale. Inhale, punch, exhale, bring it back. All right, go ahead and close the eyes as well. Hold this pose and begin to punch. Here we go. This is a rapid motion, so it sounds just like breath of fire. Here we go. Inhale that arm out. Exhale, bring it back, and then place it on the ground. Go ahead and shift your body. Let your head come back to neutral. We're going to take a little moment here. Just like a cat. All right, let's go ahead and bring both hands back to the ground, solid, pressing into the floor. Scoop out that belly, chin to chest, and then take the right hand, thumb underneath that pinky mound, create a fist, bringing that by the shoulder, the right shoulder. And then we inhale, punch it out, exhale, bring it back. Let's begin. Inhale that arm out. Exhale, bring it back. Bring it to the floor. And then go ahead and bring yourself to sitting on your heels if that feels okay. Take a moment. If you've had any kind of knee injury, this position isn't probably going to work for you, and that's okay. Come back to any comfortable seating position. Take a moment. Take a big inhale and exhale. And gently opening those eyes. Okay, we are going to be sitting in rock pose for this next asana. So once again, any kind of knee injury, modify, find a different way to sit that's going to feel comfortable for you. Big pillows in between knees or the bottom and the heels is a great idea. I love this one. This takes a lot of pressure off the knees. Sitting in a chair is also an option, which is totally valid at this point. So this asana calls for us to bow our heads to the floor and then clap behind our back at the same time. So if you are seated in a chair, you're just going to come down to touch your thighs and clap behind you. If you don't have enough room because of your chair, just imagine yourself clapping. If you can't actually clap, also, again, just imagine yourself clapping. As you hear my hands clap, imagine those are your hands clapping. Just as powerful, okay? So I like to start, once again, in rock pose or seated position that will help mimic rock pose. My hands are going to be actually behind my feet. So I'm just going to roll my shoulders up, back, and down. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to inhale here. This is the starting position. Exhale, come down, forehead to the floor, clap, inhale back up, and repeat. Another way that you can modify this is bringing a pillow or stacked blankets, and that's where your forehead hits. I'm always worried about hitting my forehead too hard. Let's continue. Last time here. Inhale yourself up. Let your hands come and rest on top of the thighs. Take a moment. Inhale and exhale, gently opening the eyes. Letting those eyelashes flutter. And then we're all going to meet in easy pose. Okay. or again, any comfortable pose. All right, seated position. All right, from here, we're going to bring our arms out in front of us. They're going to be parallel to the floor. The palms will face down. And again, remember where we brought our thumb underneath our pinky to make fists? We're going to bring that thumb underneath the pinky, that little pinky mound once again. And the arms come out in front of us. And again, so that we're not holding any tension in our traps around our neck, rolling those shoulders up, back, and down, and then letting those arms, because sometimes the arms parallel to the floor, it's at the heart center. A lot of times I find myself bringing them high up here and then I'm holding tension. So I want to drop all that tension, all right? Now from here, the only thing that's going to be moving are the wrists, all right? So we're going to be actually like we're bouncing a ball, maybe a giant, one of those giant inflatable balls. We're going to be bouncing it 8 times, and then we're going to be bringing those elbows back towards the rib cage, and then the palms are going to come towards the shoulders, and they're going to face each other. So it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. All right, we're just going to continue here. If you want to keep your eyes open, that's totally up to you. Otherwise, I would suggest just closing your eyes, allowing yourself to drop into this, okay? So here we go. Last time. And hold here. Hold the breath in. Slowly exhale the breath through the nose, bringing those hands closer to each other in front of the face, but not touching. Allow yourself to notice what you notice between these 2 hands. Bringing the thumb out beside the rest of the fingers. And if you want to kind of open those fingers like you're holding a ball. If you want to play with that energy that you feel between the hands. Or if you just want to hold your hands still, that's okay as well. Beautiful energy you just created. And then begin to pull those arms, those hands away from each other. Just stretching this energy out. And then begin to wiggle the fingers. Just let it go. Gently opening the eyes. Beautiful. Bringing those arms even above the head. Let's just shake them out. All right. We're going to do a little meditative pranayama before we seal our practice. We're going to be doing an alternate nostril breathing. And this is going to be another way for us to bring ourselves into a state of balance, equilibrium, harmony. We can show up as empowered leaders for our families. This gate is also a leadership gate. So and sometimes we need our own personal leadership. We need to show up for ourselves. So how we're going to do this alternate breathing is we're going to hold, we're going to use our right pointer finger. If this is supportive for you, if you're a lefty, maybe you would prefer to have your left. That's totally fine. Like this, I guess, because we want to inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the right. So we're going to be gently closing that right nostril to inhale left. I'm just going to walk us through it first. We're going to inhale. We're going to hold this breath for a count of 20. If you haven't worked your way up to holding breath for 20, hold it for as long as you can. Is that 10? Is that 15? Only you will know. So as we're practicing, play with that and determine what it is for you, holding it as long as you can. No matter how long you hold it, what I want you to do then when we bring that right finger or left finger to close, gently close the left nostril, we're going to exhale that breath in 4 equal parts, okay? And that fourth should completely empty out the breath. So then holding the right down again, that right nostril to inhale left. Hold that breath. Close the left nostril. Exhale in 4 counts, equal parts. Okay. We're going to do that for a couple of rounds. And then you'll hear my voice and I'm going to say, empty your breath in 8 counts. All right, so that's going to be a little quicker. Okay, so let's try it. The other thing I will mention, if you do have, a lot of people have like deviated symptoms or have had broken noses in the past, have trouble with closing the right nostril and breathing in through the left and vice versa. So if that is a potential for anyone out there who's watching, you can use your thumb to close, and then you can use middle or ring finger to hold, like you're sort of pushing the skin away from the nose, and that sort of opens up that passageway. I'm hoping or guessing that anyone who has sort of this deviated septum, sort of difficulty breathing through the nose whenever you do alternate nostril breathing has maybe heard of this before, but if not, play with it, try it. It's actually amazing. I don't have one, but I do it sometimes and it's really cool. All right, so whatever hand isn't working can rest in Gyan Mudra. Remember, pointer finger, thumb tip touching, just resting on your knee. We're going to close the eyes and we're going to gaze at that third eye. So you're going to bring those eyeballs towards the nose and then up towards the space between the eyebrows. All right, so go ahead and close left nostril. We're sitting up nice and tall here, gentle neck lock. Inhale deeply through the left nostril. Holding that breath. If you can get to 20, great. Close left nostril, exhale 4 parts. And repeat. If you're almost to 20 and you can't quite get there, take another little, just a tiny sip of air in. Now this next time, we're going to go to 8 count of exhale, okay? Last time here. Drop that right hand to the knee, Gyan Mudra. Take a big inhale, both nostrils. Hold at the top. Exhale, nose. One more time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last time. Inhale and hold. And exhale. Remain with your eyes closed for just a moment. Use this moment to go inward, to notice what you notice, how you feel, what do you sense within the body, using your awareness. Take a moment here to send some gratitude to your inner psyche for showing up for this practice, for doing whatever it is you can in this moment with the awareness that you have to make your time here the best that it can be, the investment that you make to allow your higher state of consciousness to come online and be present, to show up, to empower others, do the same. And at the very minimum, send your inner psyche some love. And then we'll take a big inhale and exhale, gently opening the eyes. All right, let's seal this beautiful practice with one long Satnam and the final blessing. So bringing the palms together and begin to rub them vigorously. How we wake up all those nerve endings. A lot of times, Kundalini Yoga, we spend a lot of time in sort of that ether state, if you will, not really grounded in the moment, which is fine. Now we just want to come back down to earth and ground, because this is where we live. So rubbing those palms together is a great way to get yourself back into your body. Bring those hands to the heart center, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Sitting up nice and tall, closing the eyes, gazing at the third eye. Chin just coming in towards that throat center, just so ever slightly. Take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale. Again, big deep inhale. And exhale. And now we inhale to tune out. Nam. Bringing those hands above the head if you'd like. Otherwise, just receive this blessing. May peace be with you. Hands to the third eye. May light be with you. To the throat. May truth be with you. To the heart. May love be with you. And now those hands come down through the chakras to the ground in front of us as I say, may safety, security, prosperity, and grounding be with you always. Just bowing our head in a sign of reverence. Bring up whenever you're ready. Satnam. And my parting words to you would just be to listen to that inner knowing, that instinct, that intuition, that's guiding you to make sure that you're cared for so that you can show up and care for the others in your life. We all have an equal place in this world to share our gifts in divine timing. So with that being said, be well. Hopefully I will see you next time as we learn a little bit more about the cosmic weather and what it's here to teach us. Mwah. Be well.